Hi guys, my name is Chloe, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing the Contradictions tag. So this tag was created by Daniela at Only If For A Page, and I was tagged by the lovely Vadania over at Vadania Silverscribe. I will link down all these channels down below, and do make sure to check out Vadania's channel as she creates such magical content about fantasy and middle grade, so if that's something that you're interested in, then go check her out. But yeah, I have answered most of these questions. Out of the 8, there are 2 that I couldn't answer, but I've done my best, and yeah, let's get into it. So question 1 is, I love this genre, but I didn't like this book. This one was kind of hard because most of the genres that I read from my favourite genres I just tend to enjoy anyway. And in terms of my favourite genre is fantasy, and I couldn't think of one that I just really disliked, so I've kind of gone with my backup genre, which is romance and kind of dark romance as well. I tend to enjoy, and for this one, the book that I've actually really disliked from this genre is Den of Vipers. I can't remember the author, but I will pop the cover up here. This one is a massive tome, and I just got bored halfway through. I know some people have put this book down because it's quite graphic and gory in places for a romance. That didn't put me off. I just found like I got halfway and I was just bored because the book just became repetitive and I didn't have time to read that, so unfortunately I didn't enjoy it. Question 2 is, I rarely read the genre, but I really love this book. I'm going to have a quick shout out to the Martian by Andy Weir. I really don't read too many sci-fis, and I just remember really enjoying this book. It was quite funny, but it's been ages since I've read it. And my main answer for this one is going to be Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. I don't really read a lot of high or epic fantasies with like really gritty plots and loads of characters and locations and stuff like that. But this is one of them that I actually really enjoyed, and I am up to date with the series. I am still waiting for the next book to come out whenever he writes it. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one, especially in the first book. I don't think there was a POV that bored me, which tends to be a thing with the larger fantasies for me. I often won't engage with all of the POVs, and this one I could follow along. It wasn't too complex. I could follow it, and I really liked all the characters. Daenerys is my favourite. I really enjoy her, and yeah, this is just one of the exceptions of a massive fantasy series that I've just really enjoyed. So question 3 is, I love the trope, but I didn't like this book, and this is one that I will be skipping because I just couldn't think of anything. Yeah, just skipping. Moving on to question 4 is, I hate this trope, but I love this book. This one was another tricky question, lots of tricky questions on this tag, which made it really fun to put my answers together. And for this one, I don't really know if it's a proper trope, but I'm going to go with it because otherwise I wouldn't have an answer. So I'm going to go with the trope heists, because I don't really read books that are kind of like actiony or mission orientated or stuff like that, almost like spies or yeah, stuff like that. This book isn't to do with spies, but it features around a heist, and this is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I adored this book, and I think for me the characters really drove this book. If I wasn't engaging with the characters, I probably wouldn't have liked this book as much as I did. So yeah, because of the characters and the amazing world built in the Grishaverse, which I just really like that series, well, all her series as a whole, yeah, it just made me really enjoy this book when otherwise I probably wouldn't have. Question 5 is, I love this author, but I didn't like this book. This one kind of cheating on because I have gone for Kiran Millwood Hargrave, and I chose her because she wrote the Deathless Girls, which I really enjoyed. It's a YA Dracula retelling. I think it's sapphic as well, and I just loved the atmosphere, loved this book. But this is the only book that I've read from her that I've enjoyed. And then moving on to the book that I didn't enjoy was A Secret of Birds and Bone. So it's not necessarily an author that I love because I've only read 2 of her books, but I had to choose something, and I really, really love Deathless Girls. This one is a middle grade, and I just didn't enjoy it. I was really disappointed based on what I'd read before. I can't remember the plot too much of this one, but we follow definitely a girl. I don't know if it's a brother or sister or something like that, and her mother is a bone carver. She has this magic where she can make items and stuff out of bone, and that really, really intrigued me. But the main plot escapes me, and honestly, as I got over halfway and once the magic had sort of been explained and that was that, I just lost interest. I was really tempted to unhaul this book actually, but it is a signed copy and I really love Deathless Girls, so until I can get a signed copy of that one, I am keeping it. But yeah, this is a book from an author that I liked, but didn't enjoy the book. Question 6 is another one I will be skipping, and this was, I previously disliked a book by this author, but I loved this book. Often if I'm picking up a book by a new author and I don't like it, I don't think I tend to pick up books by them again. So yeah, there wasn't anything that came to mind. So for question 7 is, I love this cover, but I didn't like this book. And for this one, I'm going to go with another high fantasy, and that is the Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I've only read the first books of this massive series, and I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't wrap my head around the writing style. It was just a bit boring. And this was just one of her the first book, so it was really, really small, and her series is really long. And they get a lot bigger, so considering I didn't enjoy the first one, I'm not going to invest my time in reading the others. Maybe one day, not right now. But yeah, the cover for this one, I will insert an image somewhere, I'm sure. I really, really like the look of it. It looks really, really good, and I love how this matches in to all of the other books from all of the other series. It looks really, really nice and old-fashioned, and there's gold foiling and stuff like that on it. It looks really good. I just couldn't get into the story. And our last prompt is, I don't like the cover, but I really like the book. This one was also hard because I also like collecting books, so I do like them to look nice. I will often, if an edition has multiple copies, I will choose my favourite usually. So this was hard, and I actually went for one book that I haven't read in a very, very long time, but I remember really, really enjoying when I was a teenager, and it's one that I need to reread again. But this is Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver. I really dislike this cover. It's just a close-up of this girl's face, and I think it looks a bit ugly. I haven't checked out for other editions since this one released, so I might do that when I reread it and if I still enjoy it. But yeah, this book I really, really enjoyed. From what I remember, our main character is killed, and then she has to relive her last day over and over again until she can get it right, because I think she was one of the popular girls in school and she wasn't very nice. So it's just about her reliving this day over and over again until she becomes a better person, or like settles the last things that were ongoing. It's been a long time, but yeah, it's probably one of my favourite standalones, especially for YA as well. It's a YA book. But yeah, awful cover. I hope I can find myself a new copy actually. I haven't pulled this one out in a while and it's worse than I remembered. So those were all the prompts for the Contradictions tag. Thank you again, Vadania, for tagging me. It was a lot of fun, even if some of the questions were very, very tricky to answer. So I do have a couple of people that I'm going to tag. It was quite hard to find people that I watch who either hadn't already done this tag or had been tagged already. So hopefully I can reach some new people who might want to give this tag a go. As always, don't feel like you have to. If you want to give it a go for it. Otherwise, I don't mind. So I'm going to tag 3 people. So I'm going to tag Shelly from Percy Does Everything, V from the sassy Library Fox, and Ashleigh from Ashleigh's Media Addiction. I will pop a link to everyone's channel in the description box below, and like I said, if you don't want to give it a go, no worries. But yeah, that was the Contradictions tag, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Let me know down below, as always, if you have read any of the books and what were your thoughts, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!